tummy time, all right? So the tummy does what the pelvic floor does, meaning if we're holding our belly high and tight all day, or when we're having conversations, we feel tension here, most likely we're holding tension in our pelvic floor. The tummy can also hold tension from scar tissue, meaning if it's holding tension, it's not moving well, either is the pelvic floor. I know I noticed this myself after my cesareans, my C-sections. I have high and tight scar tissue down there. I'm not moving well, either is my pelvic floor. I'm having pain with intercourse. I'm having bladder urgency. The list goes on and on. So let's teach you how to move the tummy so that we can move our pelvic floor better. In our world, the tummy is broken down into 4 quadrants. 2 lowers, 2 uppers, okay? So join me, lay on your back, let's touch this baby and get it to release. We want to create mobility here. We can start with some gentle soft circles, just mobility side to side, more for like blood flow and circulation of tissue. So you go ahead and pull that tissue up, or tissue, go and pull your shirt up, you can pull your pants down. My C-section scars here, I've got my belly button, we've got that's gonna be in the way, quadrants, okay? Lowers and uppers. So you can start with just really circulating this tissue, being gentle, find where something's a little bit uncomfortable or a little tight, and just stay at that surface level. Stay on skin and just gently move it side to side. See, while you're moving it, if you can breathe in and out to create a little bit more space internally. So as I was saying, we've got lower quadrants and upper quadrants underneath the ribs here, down lower below the belly button. So think belly button is really being like your solid lower or upper area, and then right and left is splitting it to your sides. On our right side, in the center at that belly button, we've got our small intestine that sits here. The small intestine connects with the large intestine on the right. The angle is very tight like this. It's not an open space. It's a very hard corner for that stool to move through. So it can be a little bit uncomfortable on here on the right lower quadrant. As that comes up, it's going to connect with our ascending colon, meaning that colon's going up. It's going across under our ribs to ribs, transverse colon, and then it's going to go down the descending colon off into the lower region here, into our rectum. Now, if you guys have ever heard of an abdominal massage, this is how I like to do it. I like to start on that left to just kind of stimulate it, to wake it up, give it some love in. But then we're gonna go over to this right side where I talked about that right lower quadrant having that short angle, that tight angle from small intestine into large intestine. And you wanna start gentle circles in that lower quadrant, following it up to your ribs, following that ascending colon. You may find some firmness, some hardness, some tightness, stiffness, uncomfortableness as you're doing this. And sometimes that's stool there. So just be very gentle, be very just slow, control, don't cause anything to be painful. And you can do this a few times. This is like the letter I as you move straight up. As you get up in this region, if you do that 5 to 10 times, and then you can start to go across. And so now we're making like an upside down L shape, right? We're going up that ascending colon, across right to left on this transverse colon. And you can do that 5 to 10 times. You may feel tissue move, you may feel some gurgling, you may pass gas. All those are good functions. After you do that 5 to 10 times, then you're going to start to move down that descending colon from the left ribs down into the left pelvis region. Again, keeping it gentle, and then as we get in that lower region, I like to creep in under that belly button, just towards that rectum. Again, go off that right, start going up, over ribs to ribs, right to left, and then down that left region into that pelvis and slightly below the belly button, okay? So that is an abdominal massage. We've got our I, the upside down L, and then we've got a full motion making the U. So I love you, motion for that mobility there. Another technique I really enjoy with this region is going on top of, with that circular motion we talked about, finding a scar and checking in with that mobility. So maybe it is a little bit more tight. Maybe you don't have a scar, but you find a little area in your torso that is just a little bit uncomfortable. So you're gonna start with just doing circular motions, and seeing if, giving a little love in here, if it starts to create a little bit mobility or that discomfort improves. So I'm doing clockwise and counterclockwise circles, and then I'm going to start to try to move that tissue up and down and diagonal left to right, and see how does it feel as I'm moving that tissue that direction. Can I create more space? Especially on a C-section scar that's a little further out, meaning like 8 to 12 weeks. You can get on top of the scar and make that move, or just in regular tightness and that tension in the abdomen, you can do this all over. Another technique is called skin rolling. So the same way you're going to pick up skin on your forearm and start to kind of plow it across. This is a deep fascial mobility. We can do that on our abdominal tissue too. So you can pick up that skin and let it go down, plowing across the abdomen. You can go diagonally across. You can go down to up. Some people will feel this more at that pubic bone, especially if you're going down to diagonal from C-section scar up, or just even pubic bone up, creating space at that bladder and making your way across the tissue, plowing it, making space. This is especially at that pubic bone. You're going to find some more tightness along that midline as you're coming up, but you really want to try to create space and walk that tissue. Create mobility in this area. It feels so good. So try that out, going left to right, up and down, and diagonal. Start to create that space. Today, try this out and let us know how it feels. This is the kind of stuff I like to mark down. If I'm going to do an abdominal massage, where does it feel? What do I feel as I do it? If I try to do skin rolling side to side, what does it feel like? Where is it tighter? I want to know. And then I guess really a fourth technique, if that would have been the first technique being the abdominal massage. Second technique is doing more circular motions, checking mobility up and down, left to right. Third technique was skin rolling. So a fourth technique can be scooping, where you're finding the front part of that pelvis, what we call the ASISs, or just people call their hip bones. You're going to take an opposite hand to that side. So I have my right hand to my left side of the pelvis, and I'm going to ice cream scoop. I'm going to scoop down towards my pelvis and then up towards my belly button. And I'm going to hold that scoop for about 10 seconds. This is probably one of my favorite things to do for this tissue down here, because I hold tension in my belly. And I'm going to take my left hand over to my right side, ice cream scoop it up towards that midline. And then I'm going in that midline with that pubic bone up towards my belly button, ice cream scooping and holding it. So this is the scoop, or the ice cream scoop. That's that fourth technique. My challenge today, pick one or two of these techniques and test them out. And then let us know, where are you finding tension? Where are you holding tension? The scooping one is probably the easiest one for me to do day after day, because when I lay down to go to bed at night, this is a simple one I can do before I close my eyes and go to sleep. 10 seconds on each side, 10 seconds in the midline, and I might repeat that 2 to 3 times before I go to bed. But my challenge for you, pick out 1 to 2 of those abdominal techniques, test it out, and let us know where you're holding tension, and test it out each day. See if you can add it into your routine, okay? And then give us a note. Let us know what you're feeling and if it's improving as you continue to move that tissue and give it a little bit of loving. All right? Have a great day, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions.